Hey, what's going on, YouTubers? How are you doing today? You know, it's your guy DeMarcus, and we're here to do our motivational video. Today is Life is But a Dream. Heard that somewhere, right? So all we're doing is waiting for our Facebook family to get online, and we'll go ahead and get started from there. So, Facebook family, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Happy Motivational Monday here. It's your guy DeMarcus, and we're doing our motivation. It's going to be fantastic. And today's video is about life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. Life is but a dream. The end of that statement, the end of that poem that we've all known since we were little bitty kids. Why is that so important? Why am I going to focus on life is but a dream? Well, we're going to go into a couple things. Let's start off by going into our Think and Grow Rich book. You know, I got book club tonight, so everybody's interested in book club. We are at Leo's Pub in St. Charles, and we're reading Think and Grow Rich. You got to have chapter 2 done to show up, but I'm excited to see if you can. So, in Think and Grow Rich, obviously there's some powerful, powerful pieces. I'm going to read you a couple things from here, okay? So, here we go. The greatest achievement was, at first, and for a time, but a dream. Did you catch that? The greatest achievement was at first, and for a time, but a dream. Now, I'm going to stop there. We're going to talk about this for a second. I want you to think about Thomas Edison, the light bulb. His goal was to make sure that the light bulb, that people could harness light, okay, through electricity. They wanted to harness electricity, right? So the only way for that to happen is he had to have an idea about it for it to happen. Henry Ford had to have an idea about what he wanted to do with the vehicle. I want a horseless carriage. I don't want to be carried around. I've been talking a lot about Henry Ford because he's in this book a lot and he's mentioned for a reason. You have Albert Einstein. You have relativity. You have let's see who else. Even something as simple as Abraham Lincoln, right? And he's going through his situation. His mindset is to dream about having a united nation with free slaves. Martin Luther King dreamed of a united nation that everybody is the same and treated the same, right? So these are ideas that people had, and they're dreams that people have. Now, the reason that it's important is because the greatest achievement was, at first, and for a time, but a dream. Now, why is dreaming good? Well, because in your brain, when you're asleep, when you're dreaming, when you're closing your eyes, when you have purposeful thought, even if you're thinking in, dream form, or you're thinking, or if you're realizing that you're going through a situation in life, your brain cannot differentiate the difference between you dreaming, other than you telling it to, you dreaming, and also between you doing something. So for you to have a dream in your mind and set a purpose to that dream, and to believe that that dream can be true and can be harnessed, all you're telling your brain is, I need to find a way to make this happen. That there's nothing I want more than this to happen. And by that dream that you're having in your mind, you're creating your future. Okay? So let me keep going here. It says here, the oak sleeps in the acorn. The bird wakes in the egg. And in the highest vision of the soul, a waking angel stirs. Dreams are seedlings of reality. Your brain does not know the difference between dreams and reality. That's why we think in dreams. I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but I've been to some of the personal development things, and they talk about you go into your mind and you think thoughts on purpose, because thoughts are things, right? So dreams are thoughts, whether they're controlled or not. Thoughts are thoughts, but they're controlled. Reality and the experience that reality gives us puts us where? In the thought category. So everything goes back to the power that thought has on our lives. So if we're able to control our thoughts, we're able to control our lives. Kind of deep, right? Here we go. A burning desire to be and to do is the starting point from which the dreamer must take off. Dreams are not born of indifference, laziness, or lack of ambition. If you want something and you're dreaming it and the thought of it's in your head, you cannot be indifferent to not having it. You must want it. You cannot be lazy and going to get it. You must go get it. And you have to have the lack of ambition is not acceptable either, because you have to want it in your core. All right? So here we go. Being forced through misfortune. Nope, that's not the one. Sorry about that. So that's another video for another time. But I want to read you guys this poem. And the reason I'm reading this poem is because of the pieces in it. And I think I've done this before because, like I said, I read this about 2 or 3 years ago. But I want to read you this poem, and in it, listen to what he's trying to say, and then we'll break down the poem. And it's all about thoughts and things and what you're asking for in your life. Because if you ask for nothing in your life, then why are you pissed off that you got nothing? If you're willing to put yourself on the line and say, hey, this is what I want, to a fault, to a T, that nothing can be more important to me than this, you will have that peace. But when you go through life and you're like, well, I don't really care what happens, life's like, okay, cool, give them whatever. A ship in the sea that has no direction and no captain is just going to toss around if it doesn't just burst open on some rock somewhere. But a ship in a sea, okay, let's take the ship, that same ship in a sea, put a captain in it, right? And he wants to go from point A to point B. He's trying to go from Italy to the United States, or Italy to Greece, wherever he's trying to go, right? By having him have a purpose in where he wants to go, if he decides he's indifferent about where he lands, he will land anywhere or die at sea. But by knowing that he wants to go to this place, this Italy, wants to go to this Greece, by having that in his mind, by having the ambition to go and get it, and not being indifferent and being completely not okay with going anywhere else, that's a big deal. That's how he makes it. That's where you have to put a captain in your ship. Most people are not having captains in their ship. Most people are letting their ship get tossed on waves. And when the waves get rough and the sea starts turning and your life and your ship doesn't go the same way that you hoped it would, and then all of a sudden you crash on an island and you don't know why it happened, and then you're pissed. That's exactly why. You didn't have control over your ship. You're just, imagine how different driving a car would be if you started the car, you put it in drive, and you went in backseat and got a nap, and it's not a Tesla. All right, you're gonna crash. There's absolutely 100% certainty you are going to crash. You're gonna crash. It isn't until you get behind the wheel, you take control of the wheel, and you start driving with purpose and intently. If you want to go to work, you cannot just go lay in the back and hope you get to work. Hope doesn't work here. Okay, so here we go. Here's the quote. It says, "I bargained with life for a penny, and life would pay no more." And I want to go back to that part alone, but we're gonna keep going. Okay, so I bargained with life for a penny, and life would pay no more. However, I begged at evening when I counted my scanty store. For life is just an employer. He gives you what you ask, but once you have set the wages, why, you must bear the task. I worked for a menial hire, only to learn dismayed that any wage that I had asked for life, any wage I had asked of life, life would have willingly paid. So that's why I'm gonna go back to this real quick. A couple pieces I want to bring out to you. I bargained with life for a penny, and life would pay no more. That statement right there, it tells you everything you need to know about why you're not successful in life. It really does. Because you have to bargain with life for a penny, and life will give you that penny. What you ask for, life will give you, but you have to, for life is just an employer. An employer, all they do is pay you for your work. If you don't work, you don't get paid, right? So if you're asking for a penny and you work for a penny, you're bearing the task, then life will give you what you ask for. But it also says here that any wage I had asked of life, life would have surely paid. And that's important, and that's actually one of the things I'm going to bring to my students when I talk to them this weekend. It's on Friday. Sorry, it's on Friday. Is that a lot of us aren't even asking life for anything. And if we are asking life for anything, it's so menial and so mundane that it almost as if life's like, okay, here, but you can have more. But we choose not to have more. We choose, in our whole essence, the essence of who we are, we choose not to ask life for more. We choose to let it be as simple as, I just want a job so I can get paid. What kind of job you want? How much do you want to get paid? What is the hours you're looking for? How many times a week do you want to pay? I know for a fact that I've been putting out some positive vibes, and things have been coming my way. I mean, I put out positive vibes. This weekend, I met so many awesome and amazing people, and that it was beautiful. It was most fantastic. And the reason that I say that is because that's what I've been asking for. I've been asking life to put in positive people in my life for about a good 2 to 3 months now. And it's been happening slowly, been getting the right people in there. But I had to ask life for that penny. I had to ask life, hey, I need this because I'm not going to be able to get to the place that I need to go to help other people if I keep having negativity in my life. It's not going to work because no one's going to look to me for positivity if negativity is all I have around me. There was no reason I was failing at the things I wanted. But as I started to ask for different things, different amounts of money, different opportunities, everything started showing up because I was putting in the work and I was asking for it. But if we're not willing to ask for it, then it doesn't matter if you put in the work because you're working and you're not. It's like you don't care where you go. You could drive a car for 14 hours and not get to your destination if you don't know where you're going and you don't have the directions to get you there. You could drive all the way to St. Louis, from St. Louis all the way down to Chicago, and all you wanted to do was go to McDonald's around the street. Hopefully don't go to McDonald's, but go around the corner, right? But you could drive for 14 hours, but it isn't until you actually get direction and asking for what you want. You get in the car, you drive, that's great, that's action. But you have no direction, you have no drive, you have no idea of why you can't make it to your destinations. And this is life, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't about a car. This isn't about a ship tossing in the waves. What this is about is that the lack of drive that we have, and that we need to dream the right thoughts. We need to dream the right ideas. And they say dream in this book, they're actually talking about thoughts, thinking these thoughts, these intense dreams that we need to put into our minds on a consistent basis to achieve our goals. Think about your life. Listen, you know I'm here. I'm telling you what my life is. Think about what goals you have for yourself. Are your goals in line with the actions in which you are producing on a daily basis? I want you to think about that. I can't answer that question for you. All I can do is say, if it's not, change your thoughts. Change your dreams. Change your focus, and your reality changes. When you start to put direction into your vehicle when you're driving it, that is the only way you can get closer to your dreams. Otherwise, you could end up wasting a whole gallon of gas and getting nowhere. So that's all I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to read this to you one more time. I'm going to read it fast because it's important. I bargained with life for a penny, and life would pay no more. However, I begged that evening when I counted my scanty store. For life is just an employer. He gives you what you ask. But once you have set the wages, why, you must bear the task. I work for a menial hire, only to learn dismayed that any wage I have asked of life, that life would have willingly paid. Be careful what you're asking for. Be careful that you're not asking for anything. You're wasting your time, and you're wasting your energy, and we only got a certain amount of hours here, ladies and gentlemen. Certain minutes, certain days, we don't know when we're done. And you got to make sure that whatever you're putting out there, if you're planning on making a difference, that you're putting in the work into that, or something to get you near that. Because otherwise, you're going to leave this world. Most people leave this world with no legacy. You're remembered in the second generation. You're an antidote in the third, and you're forgotten in the fourth. That's just kind of how it works. And the thing is, people before you have paid some serious prices just to make sure that you are here in this life and have an opportunity. I can tell you that now, being a black male, that there has been prices paid long before I got on this earth. And I was just an idea. The idea of who I am right now, the person I am right now, was just an idea that my great-great-great-grandmother said, if I don't get through this, my great-great-great-great-grandson will never have the ability to sit in front of the world and tell them and teach them and help them to succeed. One day my great-great-grandson is going to be able to talk to white people and black people and Asian people and Latino people. One day my great-grandson is going to change the world. My great-great-great-grandson is going to change the world. But if I don't make it through this, then nothing is going to happen. I've got to make it through this. So instead of being, thinking about yourself, think about the legacy and about the people that you're going to supply for now. You're supplying now. You're planting the seed right now for generations to come. They call it a family tree for a reason. It was planted before you got there. You're just a result of that tree. You're just a result of that grove. You're going to grow your own grove. Obviously, you're going to have your own, but you're just a result of the actions that were taken before you were even thought of. Your name was not in existence yet, unless you have a family name. That's fine. But just keep in mind that your legacy right now is all dependent on what you go for. And if you're not willing to put the energy into driving that car, you're going to run out of gas before you get anywhere. And you're going to be mad because you didn't make it there. But you never had any intent to get there. You never put any intent to go there, and you didn't put the action in there to make it there. And that's all I have to say. I hope you guys got something from this. Happy Monday. I love you. AO 2018. That's all I have to say. Some of you will understand it. Some of you won't. Either way, that's going to be pretty dope. But I just want you guys to know I love you. I believe and I love in each and every one of you. And two things. If you don't believe in yourself, the problem is not necessarily that you don't believe in yourself, but you're around people who don't necessarily believe in themselves either. or the people you're around are not asking of you anything, so you have nothing that you need to reach for. Change your circle. The second thing is if you have no love in your life, I love you. So give me a hug. Come on in. Bring it in. I'm just kidding. But ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate and love you, and I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you got something from this. Remember, Think and Grow Rich. We're going to be reading it tonight. If anybody wants to read it, chapter 2 is what we're going to, Desire, and that's what the chapter I was on today, and I would love to have you. But that's all I got. So I hope you guys had a blessed one. Remember, I love each and every one of you, and thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for being here. If no one ever told you how great you are, then let me be the first. You are fantastic, and you can do anything. But you have to set your mind to it. Don't let anybody else take your mind away. And another video I'm gonna go into on another day because it kind of hit me real hard. And if I wasn't doing this one, I would have done a video on this. Is this? Don't let somebody else's losses become your losses. Don't let what somebody else thinks they can't do become what you can't do. A lot of people are taking other people's baggage and holding on to them, baby. That's not going to work for you anymore. That's all I got. Talk to you guys later. Bye. Bye. Adios.